apologize to you, but we had one deal we had to deal with. And I guess now would be just about as good a time as any to take care of it. We spoke about an executive. Wendy has been was the interim director. We gave her a 5% increase in her pay when she became the interim director. She did an excellent job for us. We want Wendy. This is our future right here, and that's more or less the way we're looking at it. That's why we brought this guy in to mentor her and to get her where she needs to be. We see the future in Wendy. We have decided, the suggestion has been made in executive that we continue the 5% increase in salary that we gave her when she became an interim, that we just make that part of her permanent pay package and continue at this rate. If I had a motion from the board and a second, we'll vote on it and make it official or not. Anybody want to second that? Okay, I do have a motion from the floor that we retain the 5% increase that we gave Wendy. That becomes part of her permanent pay package. I do have a second. I'll ask for any more discussion on this. I ask for public comment on this. I ask for the vote. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. And opposed, nay. You have been given your 5% raise. Your 5% raise has been retained.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Let's move on now to consideration and approval of the minutes 10-216 policy motion to accept. So move. Do I have? That's work John Austin.
Motion to accept the minutes of the last meeting. Any discussion from the board? Yes, ma'am.
The only thing I noticed was that on page 4, under adjournment, it referenced Phil Neighbors, was he?
No, let me say last time.
Yeah, it would have been Michael Mooney.
Okay, page 4.
Okay.
Page 4 of the minutes.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
Yep.
And then it was the change.
So the amendment has been, and the second, does the second reflect the amendment to the motion, to the minutes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we've got everything legally right. Any comments any other comments from the board? Public comment? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Let's put a majority on that one. Okay, number 5 is discussion and consideration of approval to the 215-218 TIP Amendment 4, final and any action in connection thereto. Maybe you are on, sir.
The TIP, as you know, is our transportation improvement program that our plan that has to be redone every 2 years because we've gone out, we've received all the information. There are a few minor corrections that we discovered. One was on page 23, under US 67 extension project. There's one too many numbers in that CSJ.
Major.
28.
Major.
I have no 28. I go from 24 to 31.
Oh, we're doing the amendment? I'm sorry. Okay, we're doing I'm already into the tip, I'm sorry.
Okay.
But the amendment is all a text dot amendment, and they've amended their project, and as far as we can see, there's no reason that it shouldn't be proceeding and amend the tip.
Any discussion on this item?
This item is the bike and pedestrian improvement project that the city is going to be taking on. And we were just putting this document into our tip because
It already exists in the tip. That, just a little clarification on that.
Is this page you're talking about?
Yeah, but that's the tip. There's no
There
change.
is no.
There's no change that we have to the amendment. The amendment's further in. We'll just put the amendment and I jumped ahead.
Okay. Tell me where am I supposed to be?
Right there. And it's just a few pages that they've come up with the adjustments.
So you're talking about 22 here? Is that the change
Yes.
we're
No,
making?
yes, that's
Page 22.
It's
And
Yes.
22.
and the change is?
adding the bike and pedestrian improvement project to the tip.
Okay. And that it is highlighted in there.
Yes, and then the document following it is just showing the expenses attached to that.
Okay. Any questions, board? Primarily this housekeeping, just get everything.
Yes.
Any questions from the board? Do I have any public comments on this? I suppose we need to approve this, don't we? Consideration and approval. I do need a motion for approval.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Do I have a second? Got a second, I've got a motion. Public comment, board comment, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Let's put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on, 7-0 on that one. Number 6 is Texas Department of Transportation MPO presentation and solicitation. A public comment of the fiscal year 2017 through 2020 transportation improvement program for the 15 counties of TxDOT San Angelo districts. Counties include Coke, Concho, Crockett, Edwards, Glasscock, Arion, Temple, Menard, Reagan, Riel, Runnels, Slacker, Sterling, Sutton, and Tom Grant. I suppose this is yours also, Major.
So far, yes. Now, this is the one where we have a couple of corrections on page 28, the US 67 extension project. The CSJ number had one too many numbers in it. Before, there's not one.
28 to 36.
Right.
Well, Major, I jumped from page 24 to page 31.
You're still in the, there you go. Now you're still in the amendment.
I found it.
The CSJ number for the US 67 extension project. The 4 at the end of that CSJ number does not belong there.
Okay.
And the other one was on page 30, just flip over one more. The fiscal year up at the top was 2015 to 2018, should be 2017 to 2020. We've already made these changes, but this had already been printed prior. Also, when Concho Valley presents, there's gonna be some changes in their dollar amounts. They had a late request from TxDOT to revise, and so I'm sure I think it's only a $1 or $2 change where they needed to round up. So that's the only other differences in what's been put before.
So what further we need to do on this?
Gary's gonna present,
Okay.
Right.
the background information on it, we're just saying.
And then we'll have transit filters.
Can you see through me, Bacon?
And, as long as you stay that way, if you don't get broadside, then you got a problem.
Okay, there it is.
All right, my name is Gary Enos. I'm with TxDOT San Angelo District. I'm here to present the 2017 through 2020. Last advance slides.
I don't have there's not an advanced clip.
I'll do it for you.
The reason we do these, the tip is, of course, it's a federal law that we do so. And I want to mention what the tip actually is. It's, each of the 25 TxDOT districts have a tip, and then each of the metropolitan planning organizations have a tip. They all combine to create the STIP, or the statewide tip. It covers a 4-year period, and we update them every 2 years. This meeting is considered a public involvement meeting to get public input on the project we should or shouldn't be doing. Go ahead. This is just a slide showing the TxDOT districts, 25 districts in TxDOT. Of course, San Angelo is one of them. Go ahead to the next These are the 15 counties in the TxDOT San Angelo district. Let's go on to the next one, please. It's a little hard to see, but the title of this slide is 2017 plan letting, and these are the highway projects. I'm going to go through each one, give you a little information on each project, 2017 through 2020, to show you what we have programmed so far. Our first project is out in Concho County on FM 765 to do some rehab work on roadway out there. Now, our next two projects kind of go together. It's our annual seal coat and pavement marking projects, district-wide. The next project we have listed is a project, part of a larger project to put message signs on the interstate from San Antonio to El Paso. So what you're seeing there is our portion of that through San Angelo District. Y'all can stop me anytime you have a question.
What is a dynamic message sign? What kind of message?
It's usually emergency messages, but you've probably seen them in the metro areas. It's,
Electronic.
it's electronic signs that we could program and change,
Okay.
like due to accidents or ice conditions, things like that. Amber alerts. It's all through the interstate. The next project there is a safety project and flashing signs on some roadways down in Real and Edwards County and a couple locations in Runnels County on some sharp curves that have no crash history. Project after that is to replace large guide signs on the interstate and also some around San Angelo on the freeways here. Next up, we have a resurfacing project, which is part of a series of projects we're trying to do on US 87 north of town to resurface 87 all the way from San Angelo to the Howard County line. Following that, we have a couple of projects in Eden. One is a TxDOT project to widen US 83 to 4 lanes, and then the other is a city project that's being run through to build sidewalks on city streets. And then also El Dorado has a city sidewalk project in the same time frame. It's an enhancement project through TxDOT. The next project is here in the MPO area, US 277. That's actually in the Grand Canal area. We set aside $650,000 for improvements at that intersection. Of course, at this time we don't know what the scope would be exactly, but we set that aside. We're going to study that intersection and decide what to do. The next project is one requested by the city to improve the intersection of US 87 and West Concho Avenue to widen that. As part of a larger project the city plans to do to widen Concho Avenue all the way to downtown. Then our last project in 17 is a safety project throughout the district for center line and shoulder texturing, like rumble strips and rumble pavement markings. So any questions on 2017? Yeah, let's go to 18. Okay. All right, 2018, we start off with a project down in the junction area to build a new headquarters at the South Lano River State Park. And that's actually funded by Texas Parks and Wildlife, but TxDOT does the design work on those. Our next project is one that we try to do every 2 years to upgrade our traffic signals and lighting assemblies throughout the district. Then we have a series of bridge replacement projects. The first one is FM 380 at Kickapoo Creek in Concho County, and then Utah Creek County, the Brushy Creek Bridge over at RM 853 Arden Road. We're going to replace that one. And then we have 3 bridge replacements on county roads in Runnels County. Again, we have, our annual seal coat and pavement marking projects, as we do every year. And then, following that, another bridge project, this one's back down in South Atlanta River State Park. It's another Parks and Wildlife project to replace the bridge there on Park Road 73. And following that, one of our larger projects, to continue our effort to build passing lanes between Eden and Junction. This one's in Kimball County, from Junction north to Menard County line. We have a safety bridge project, which we're gonna try to do every year to replace guardrails and bridge rails at bridges throughout the district. And to close out 2018 is an MPO project to build interchanges at Tractor Trail and Paul Ann Boulevard up there on 67 north of town. And those are probably underfunded right now, but we're gonna add more funding, as I'll show you later, to those.
One quick question. The damage that's done to guardrails and things, is that the funding that comes out of, or try to recover through insurance?
No, that's actually, that's funded through a different pot of money, repairs a different way. These are for typically old guardrails or old bridge rails that need to be replaced, or in some cases, bridges that don't have new rail. that need repair.
It seems like around here, the guardrails don't last long enough to age out.
No.
They don't run regular basis.
Okay, let's do it. Pretty short list here because we don't have everything programmed out right now. But the first project is a county road bridge up there in Sterling County to replace the Sherwood Lane Bridge. And then we have our usual seal coat and pavement marking projects. And then another safety project to D4, center line and edge line rumble markings. Another safety project at Glasscock County to put up flashing beacons. And then a passing lane project that would tie into the one I just mentioned. This one's in Menard County on US 83, basically from Menard south to the Kimball County line. And then last project there is just another bridge safety project. 2020. There's not much here in 2020 either, but we're showing another traffic signal and lighting upgrade project, another bridge safety project, and then a couple replacements of off-system county road bridges there in Romans County again. Any questions on any projects so far? Let's go to the next one. That's it. Okay, this is going to be a summary of our railroad projects in the same time frame. The first one there, and I know it's out of our district, but we manage all of the South Orient railroads here locally. This one is to replace the bridge going into Mexico that had been burned down several years ago. And we're paying for the engineering to replace that bridge. Texas Pacifico is going to pay for the actual replacement. And then there in Reagan County, we have another track rehab project of $3 million. And following that, a track rehab project out in Pecos County of about $15 million. That's what we expect on the South Orient. Now this slide shows some of the more significant projects out in our rural area that we expect to do. We're already starting to work on some of these because they take a long time to develop. The first one there is an overpass of Highway 158 going over 137, where we have quite a bit of crash history. The second one would be to build passing lanes out there in Reagan County from Upton County to Big Lake. And the third one is more passing lanes. This one's in Concho County from Eden to McCulloch County, which would tie into a project that is going on right now in McCulloch County to build passing lanes. have a slide on, some future major projects that we plan here in the MPO area. We've already started on at least one of these. But these are gonna take, many years to develop, so that's the need to get started now. The first one is to build a full freeway section on 67 and 277, including frontage roads from FM 2105 down to Loop 306, one that the MPO has prioritized for many, many years. The other project is on Old Cristobal Road, or Spur 378 as we call it, to improve that section of roadway from 1223 to 87. We don't know the scope of this just yet, but could involve additional travel lanes or turn lanes and probably curb better. I said we expect to have a lot of funding freed up or available in the future. This is what we expect so far. It does not show Proposition 7 yet because we don't know how that's going to be allocated out to the districts. But so far, we think we're going to get another million to program projects in 18, another 19 million in 2019, and another 39 million in 2020. In addition, we'll have the Proposition 7 money on top of that. This is just a slide similar to the one in the actual TIP document showing this is going to be a highway project that's individually listed. Again, it's that US 277 grant canal project. These are our other two individually listed projects. Again, the interchanges of Bill 67 and Tractor Trail and Paul M. It's just a financial summary as you've got in your handouts. I think we have more handouts if we bring these one here. Some of our group projects here in the MPO area that I've already mentioned. The overlay on 87 north of town and improvements to West Concho Avenue intersection here at US 87. This is just the financial summary of group projects. You can see that there's another program in some of these years so far. That's really all I have to present for this meeting, other than to say that we do take comments for 10 days. We'll take written comments, projects inside the MPO boundary to the MPO's address, and then projects outside the MPO boundary can be directed to text off that address. So if y'all have any more questions or comments, I'll be glad to take those.
One quick one, and it is the improvements of 67 out on the west side of town for those traffic issues related. All in 16.
You mean going towards Munson?
Yes.
Yes, we already had that under construction, all the way to.
Well, now the 1 mile section in front of.
Oh, Sherwood Way. Yeah, that's in 2016. We're gonna take bids on that, I think, in August. That'll be coming up. All right, thank you.
Looks like a good plan. All we need is money and time. Is there any other further on this one?
No, number 7 will be transit doing their presentation.
Okay, so this then completes and we don't need to approve it, that's just a presentation, so.
Right.
Is everybody, any other board questions about number 6 in the presentation? Any other comments on this? Okay, let's move on then to number 7, which is Concho Valley Transit.
Yeah, the
Pardon?
next.
Concho Valley Transit presentation, solicitation, public comment, fiscal years 2017-20 transportation improvement plan, 12 counties of CBTD, same counties we talked about before.
Okay, well, the amounts are pretty consistent with the history and the areas of bus operating. the ADA services, the capital lease, and bus and facility and security. The area where it was a slight change was in year 2019, down under bus and facility security, 21,590 is the actual number. I'm not sure what you're reflecting on too often. And then another change in 2020, which was under ADA service, the actual number is 786,857. And bus and facility security would be the 22,237. Again, in all four areas, the amounts have been consistent with previous years. They go up a little bit. We're a little optimistic that an increase in the funding slightly.
That, I don't think we have any references.
In the tip, in the packet that I give you all with the agenda, on page 14, it starts off with the transportation projects, like this page right here. And that projects that he's referring to are right behind it.
Yeah, right there.
Sorry, Mayor, was your work.
They're basically the 4 years, and there's just 4 areas that we're talking about. It's the bus operating, the ADA services, capital lease, and bus facility and security. And again, the changes were minimal. There were a couple of adjustments that were made just in 3 separate areas.
I guess that's on page 41.
Page 16,
That starts on page
16 and 36.
These are the amendments he's
Oh,
talking
yes.
about. Any questions from the board? And this is just housekeeping, just
Pretty much,
Getting
that's
things
very consistent with previous.
very little change. And
Yeah, little 3% increase year to year.
all right. And again, this is simply a presentation that requires no board action. But if there are questions from the board, this is the time to ask him. And if there's questions from the public, this is your time to ask him. If there is none, we have completed that. Let's move on to number 8, which is discussion and consideration of the MPO's draft final years, 2017 through 20 transportation improvement program. Any action in connection thereto? Do we have pages on this, Wendy?
Everything that y'all
That's
have been
everything we
discussing,
just went
That's what we just,
yes.
so this is just a summary of the last 2.
And this is the actual action to have the draft approved.
Okay, now is when I need a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
That's, you're a good one to make it. Also, we got a second here from the county judge. And if any discussion from the board, public comments, motion has been made that we accept as presented. It has been seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Let's put a 7-0 on that one too, please, ma'am. Representative reports. I'm gonna start with Mr. Kelton, City of San Angelo. What you got for us, buddy?
We're continuing to move along on design of all the rehab recon processes. Working with, starting to work with our planning division on, working on the pedestrian bike pedestrian plan for the city as well too. I know last time the MPO kind of took the charge on that. But we feel at this point in time it needs to be updated. And so with, all the change in staff over here at the MPO, work with our planning department to kind of start getting some rough drafts put together, and then we'll start bringing that to the TAC, and then from the TAC to the policy board. So it's kind of up on that. Everything city council is going to get to hopefully approve our SILCO bids for this year at the next meeting, and business as usual. Streets are, people are using them and tearing them up, and we're trying to fix them.
Moving forward. Council about the district, what you have, John Austin?
The Transit District Board last month authorized me to enter into contract for the flooring and for HVAC for the Shell building. And we've been accepting bids on the build out of the restroom and kitchenette facilities, and we expect to be able to take that.
That's great. Chamber of Commerce, what you have?
Well, we're going through our search process for a new chamber president, as you all know. Looking at the preliminary deadline at the end of this month for applications, resumes to come in, and hopefully, thereafter be ready to start narrowing it down, bringing some candidates in to meet everyone. Getting ready to go into our really busy season at the chamber, coming up on Good Fellow Day, coming up on the drag boat races, coming up on West Texas, and so we're really busy getting ready for all of that.
Thank you, Peggy. What you got, Judge?
Tom Green County. Well, other than we're continuing on with design and preparations for a project pretty close that will be the tractor trail over the chain out there. So Rick's been, I think, working with Shane and the city, working on some access and some utility restrictions. So I think it's moving handled.
Do you have anything to add, boss?
No, I think she did pretty good.
Do you have anything from state? You're through. All right, that will probably take care of our representative reports. Number 10 is the discussion and review of organizational reports, director's monthly staff activities report, and a financial report. Start with the director's report.
All right, as you can see, there's been a lot of public involvement, a lot of training going on. This is all when I wasn't here and Wendy was handling her own. So you can see that she was kept very busy and she did a fantastic job. She attended a lot of training. She took care of a lot of public involvement for the MPO. She took care of all the meetings. And then the tip draft, which you approved today. So now that we can get that out of the way and upload that, then we're on to the PWP and get this tip completed and uploaded and approved by TechStop. So it was a very busy time in February for her. When you see March, it's not gonna be much lighter, I assure you. Hopefully now I can take some of that load off and we can actually give her some time to breathe a little bit. But it was a very busy time for her, and for a one-man show, she did a great job. And then the financials, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Salaries are a little bit low, but that's because, again, you were at a one-man show. So you're gonna see that increase, and you're gonna see everything that goes along with it, group insurance, FICA, all that stuff is gonna come up a little bit. We've looked at it, we think we're just fine. We're gonna have a little bit of excess probably in our budget, which we'll definitely use up this next year. But everything is on track. We're under our budget, we're doing well. So we're in a great position right now, financially.
Do I have any questions from the board, the director? Public comment? Well, it was discussion and review, so I suppose we're going to accept it as presented. Item number 11 is opportunity for members of the policy board or MPO staff to recommend topics for future discussion or action. Are there any from the board? Any agenda items that we need brought forward, anything we need to discuss, anything on the future agenda? Is there anything from the public that you would like to see on a future agenda? Discussion from the MPO board. That was an easy one to take care of. Number 12 is next meeting, May 12th, 2/16, 8:30 a.m. Is everyone happy with that time and that date? May 12 work on the right wing. May 12 work on the left wing. Like May 12's it. We've taken care of the executive session. All I need now is a motion to adjourn. And a second, and everybody saying aye. And it is 9:12. I haven't got a motion yet.
I move, I second it, and I say aye.
This meeting is over, it is 9:12. Thank you for attending. Yeah, great.
You can use my office if you like.